You are now tuning in to Lex and RDDC broadcast station, serving up on the double doses for us all.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Real Double Dose channel. This is your host, Lex, coming to you straight from the heart where the talk is real and the vibe is always live, like we always like to say. For any show requests, feedback, or anything under the sun, you can get a hold of us at Real Double Dose channel at yandex.com. That's YANDEX.com, and as well as realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com, where you can find the insights, juiciness, and so much more, as well as the About Me section on the bottom of the blog, where we have all our links, our postings, books, and so much more. Also, if you are listening to other stations right now, which I'm pretty sure you are from what we see, you can also check us out on TuneIn, Stitcher Radio, Spreaker.com, Blueberry.com, iHeartRadio, iTunes, SoundCloud, Deezer, Google Cast, Google Play, and so much more. Like we always say, there's much more. If you haven't already, and those who have claimed your free gift cards and travel giveaways, we thank you, congratulate you, and many things to come. But right now we have our wonderful guest coming on here, and that is Mr. Keith D. Guernsey. Now, Mr. Keith D. Guernsey is retired after a 40-year career in sales and sales management with Data General, Connors Publishing, Motorola, and Comcast. He lives on the Lake Lanier with his wife, Susan. He is the author of 3 popular, successful books, and he is currently working with Meals on Wheels, which is amazing, and the Crestwind Performing Arts Club. Past board member of the ITN Lanier, and he enjoys reading, writing, and traveling with his family, and a whole bunch more, keeping himself motivated, moving, always on the go, battling cancer, obesity, and so much of an inspiration. We're happy to have him on here, and now here is our wonderful guest. How are you doing, Mr. Guernsey?
I'm doing great, Lex. Thank you for having me on. I very much appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on here. So, can you give us some good fruitfulness, like you just kind of tune me in a little bit? We were all listening, and it definitely made me feel like I need to really push forward. I mean, not to have an emergency happen, but have this a part of a routine as a healthier lifestyle and different things going on. So, I mean,
Sure.
what was so this whole journey with battling all these different things going on with your system and obesity and so much more, can you kind of intro us into it a little bit more?
Absolutely. After my second life-threatening brain surgery in 1997, I had severe headaches and couldn't do anything. I couldn't sit down, I couldn't stand up, I couldn't crawl, nothing. So all I could do was sit and eat. And I ate and ate and ate. So I got on the scale one morning and it said 340 pounds.
Wow.
And I said, this is crazy, because right before all this took place, I met my lovely wife, Susan, and I knew that we would not have a very long life together if I stayed at that weight, because I'm not really very tall either. I'm, stocky, but 340 was ridiculous. So,
yeah.
And we moved to Georgia. We're Bostonians by nature. You can tell in the voice that we are the type of people who park a car in Harvard Yard. So we moved to Georgia 14 years ago due to a job change, and I began my Comcast career, from which I'm now retired, and we retired in 2013. And at the time, Susan said, basically, I've been hearing you talk about writing a book for 20 years. We are retired. You have the time to finish the darn thing. Although she used the word much stronger than darn, but since this is a family show, I won't tell you what she really said. So I finished my first book called Confessions of a Beantown Sports Junkie.
Oh, wow.
Which is a fun, lighthearted trip down memory lane, my experience as a player, coach, and avid fan of all Boston sports. And I had a blast with it. It was very successful. And as I mentioned in the intro, it's a stocking stuffer. A lot of families here at Crestwind buy it for their kids and their grandkids as a stocking stuffer. And it's still highly rated, still available on the internet. And I got so excited that I wrote a sequel called Fathers and Sons, Sports and Life. Now, that sequel is longer, and it's also available on Amazon, and it has a much more in-depth story about my wonderful relationship and uncommon bond with my late father, who was the ideal sports parent. He sat in every frozen rink in North America watching me play hockey.
Wow.
And never complained at all, Never one word of complaint, and he never yelled at a referee or yelled at a coach that was playing up, et cetera, et cetera. And that book also introduces my lovely wife, Susan, and introduces our new grandson, Harrison.
I love that name.
And I had been healthy for basically 20 years, from 97 to 2018. Then all of a sudden, reality struck in the form of prostate cancer.
Oh, no.
And, I had to wait, and I'm not the most patient person in the world, and I had to wait 6 months for the surgery.
Oh,
September 18th, I had my prostate removed. Surgery was success. PSA was 0. I was bouncing down the hall with joy. And if you've ever seen a short, stocky old guy bounce down the hall, it's pretty funny to watch. And I thought I was in the clear for a long, healthy life. And then in a follow-up visit, there was an anomaly in my blood work, and it was determined that I had multiple myeloma, which is a more serious form of cancer. It's a rare blood bone cancer.
Wow.
And that started our journey with that in March of 2018. The good news, or 2019, excuse me. And the good news is that I was just pronounced in remission. Which means
good. Yeah.
Cancer cells are much smaller. But they're still there, but they're much smaller. My particular type of cancer is considered treatable, but not curable. Or as I like to say, not curable yet. They're making tremendous strides in cancer research every day. So I'm sure long before I leave this planet, they'll find a cure.
Yeah.
And so while I was being treated for both of these cancers, I decided to write a book about my journey, and more importantly, again, letting people know that God doesn't give you anything that you can't handle, and that you need to strike words like don't and can't and quit out of your vocabulary.
Absolutely.
And my message to people is simply this: if I can do it, you can too.
Yep.
You can't let life get you down. Life is much too short to even waste a day. You can't let the blips on the radar screen or the bumps in the road get you. So
that is
then
true.
I wrote Overcoming the Odds, which is my story of triumphs over cancer, life-threatening brain surgery twice, and obesity. And that's just been out a little while, but again, it has some nice reviews and nice ratings.
So I have a question to ask you, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So in between this, because this is some really high climbing defeats here. So between which ones, was it more of the obesity journey started first and then the brain surgeries, or was it more like the brain surgeries were a result of everything that happened from the cancer itself, or how does the whole organization of that kind of start?
Well, the sequence of events where the second brain surgery started this whole kind of process, if you will, and then the obesity gradually. I'd been an athlete, a football player, and a hockey player growing up, so I knew what I needed to do. I just needed to get started doing it.
Okay.
And I started working out regularly, and the weight started to come off a little at a time, which is how it's supposed to be. You're really not supposed to lose more than 2 or 3 pounds a week. And I lost 50, and then plateaued when we retired, and then I started getting in the gym, and I lost 90 more.
Oh my goodness! Give me some of yours. Give me your secret sauce, there, Keith. Come on.
Well, I'll send you the newspaper article that the local paper wrote with a 5-step plan. I will send it to you when we're done. But basically, it was this: exercise, obviously, and it doesn't have to be running a mile. It doesn't have to be running on a treadmill. It can be walking. Okay, it can be swimming. You have to get plenty of exercise.
Definitely.
The second part of it for me was portion control.
Yeah.
I used to be able to wolf down an entire pizza and chase it with a 6-pack of Bud Light. But now I have
no.
2 slices and 2 beers, and I'm ready for a nap.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Portion control is key. The third thing for me is again, not just exercising, but moving around after you eat. I was always one who would eat a big meal and then lie on the couch. And that's the worst thing for you health-wise and for your digestive system.
Oh, yeah.
For me, and the fourth thing is doing it together with Susan, with eating healthy foods. And that we did before the cancer struck. But when I tell family and friends that I'm actually eating cauliflower and broccoli and oranges and apples, they're like, "You? Mr. Pizza and Beer Guy?"
Yeah, definitely.
And another thing for me was cutting way back on soda. I used to drink a couple or 3 cans of diet soda a day. Now I'm, maybe 2 a week max.
I know the feeling of the diet soda. I had a
Yeah.
hindering with that myself for a while. And then I just switched over to Gatorade. Sorry.
Well, as a matter of fact, I just bought 2 6-packs of Gatorade this morning when we went shopping today.
Yeah, see, it's just something about it. I'm obsessed over the orange flavor. I don't know why, but I think when I was having so many, like, I found out my system was having dairy poisoning, cross dairy poisoning. So I didn't understand why I was getting so sick where I was down for 4 days, could not move, just drinking tea. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute. It always comes from exotic cheese. Something to do with, and I'm like, okay, never mind. Yeah, I just had that scare yesterday with someone who had made something for me, and I didn't know there was very moldy blue cheese that they added from some big deli, and I'm like, okay, so I was down for the count. I was down. Yeah, it was pretty deep on that one. I mean, yeah. So as far as the brain surgeries go, did it take to the point where you had to like be hospitalized for a very long time though?
About a week each time.
Okay.
I was very fortunate in the respect that my brain tumor was benign. So
Okay.
it wasn't malignant, it wasn't cancerous. The only lasting effect is that I did lose my hearing in my left ear.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
But again, in the spirit of God taking care of you, my hearing actually got better in my right ear after I lost the hearing in my left ear.
Oh, yeah.
Why that is, no one medically could explain it, but I'm just thrilled that it happened that way.
Yeah, that's great.
And I've been very fortunate to not only have a wonderful family and friends support me through all these processes, but I've had what I consider to be 3 of the best doctors in the world take care of me. So.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, so how do you feel as though, like, I mean, I know we get it in overall general. We get things that happen where we have those strong, oh, you know what? Let me just take a page from my book. So, let's just apply this here. I felt, the enrichment of it sounds like you had really good support. Those out there who was trying, and that's a good thing about it. But, I mean, for mine, I guess I can't really say, but, I mean, I didn't even have certain people even have a phone call or give me a blanket. I thank God for my beautiful, wonderful mother. But I was just feeling some type of way, and I was like, man, maybe I need to have my circle a little bit more close knit on being for the whole game. So how has it gotten you over these whole huge, like, big boulders coming your way with your family and friend support?
Sure. Well, I can give you a prime example. I'm looking at it right now. There's a huge poster right over my bed up here in my man cave. It says, "Welcome home, Keith," and it's signed by all our neighbors and friends.
Oh,
in
that's
the
so
community.
nice. That is so nice.
When after 9 weeks in the hospital, when I first saw that, my eyes welled up, and I got a few tears coming down with that one. But friends, family, my son and sister are back in Boston, and they were calling or texting or both every day to check on me and make sure I was A-okay. And now, like I say, it feels phenomenal. Not ready to run a marathon just yet, but
you'll be getting there soon. You will be getting there very soon. I can feel. I can feel that stamina of energy and that drive inside of you that just gets there the whole way. And you conquering the obesity itself, saying, "Hey, I need to do my portion control. I need to start." I mean, you snapped back. I mean, like, you snapped out of. How hard was it, or was it really difficult once you made your mind up for that?
Well, actually, it wasn't really hard because Susan supported me in everything I did and everything I do, and she helped by, as I say, cooking cauliflower and broccoli and getting apples and bananas and putting that in front of me instead of putting a pizza in front of me or Chinese food in front of me, or ice cream, which I love.
Yeah.
And having been an athlete, I knew that, it's very simply, you have to watch your calorie count and burn off X amount of calories and ingest, X amount of calories with food, and you will start to lose, a couple pounds a week. And I did it.
Man,
and it actually wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be.
No. But you know what, too? I mean, the key factor that I hope everyone takes away, RDDC families, all those who are new tuning in, the key factor is we also need that support system. And a lot of people will say, hey, okay, Keith and Lex, that's fine. But some of you are out there, and I'm just kind of preventing, I know the little feedback was going to be, from however many. Okay, well, what if we don't have close-knit family or friends or what? There's always something or some app, some place out there, some person that is sitting by you in a bus or a gym could always just support you, even with a text message at once a day to say, hey, can you be my texting supporter? Someone to keep you responsible for that. And that's one thing you need to have, is someone to say, okay, well, Keith, in this circumstance, your wonderful wife Susan was like, look, let's switch out what we've been used to with the Chinese food and the pizza, and let's get something more over here to motivate us to start eating, and you don't feel so left alone in the journey.
Yeah, absolutely. And Lex, you have my email address.
Yeah.
You are more than welcome to share that with anyone and everyone who's listening to this show. And I'll be happy to send them the same article I'm going to send you that outlines my plan for successfully taking off the pounds, and giving them a link to my books, talking to them, giving them words of inspiration and how I did it and how they can do it too.
Yeah, and hey, that's wonderful. You hear that, everyone? Yes, and we're going to have all that as well. So even if all of you decide to go straight over to the show itself and the links, we're also going to have Keith Guernsey's information posted on realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com, so you can have all that info as well if you don't get a chance to hear the whole collective of the show, or just come back to it later, whatever it is. But we're going to have that and his email so you can get those goodies and insights out there. And don't be discouraged. Remember to email at least twice, just in case the spam folder likes to get you. I know Hotmail people will say, I've been emailing you from downtown. I'm like, no, you haven't. And sometimes it's not even in my spam folder. I had to dig deep and say, oh, we've been blocking them off without even telling you. Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah.
That's why I check my spam folder once a day, just for that very reason, because from time to time I do get legitimate emails that go into my spam folder, so I check it. But yeah, feel free to share my email with anyone and everyone, and for needs a phone conversation, they're happy to have that with anyone.
Oh, that's like a double whammy right there. We got a triple dose, everyone, not just a double dose. Keith turned it into the triple dose show. That's what he did right now. So this to sum it all in this beautiful journey of this, and a lot of people right now, especially all of us and my sister, different ones who have tried to get through the cancer phase and everything else going on with it. As far as you getting rid of all these cancer and all these things happening, did you find more of a method to how did you put your cancer into remission? I know you said is it myeloma? Oh, I can't even pronounce it.
Multiple myeloma, yeah. It's a rare blood bone cancer. And basically, I have a friend here who went through leukemia first, and he said, basically do three things. Follow your doctor's orders, take your medication, and get some exercise. And, of course, the fourth thing would be eat the right foods. Those four things. Follow your doctor's orders, and make sure you have a competent doctor, which I do, and exercise, take your vitamins, or take your medication as prescribed, and eat well and eat properly. The worst thing you can do is not eat because you're not feeling well, and then you lose your strength and your momentum.
Yeah, the nutrients and all that good stuff. And for those out there who get a hold of us on different levels, I know some of you live lives of holistic, some of you live lives with that, and it's still the same term. Also talk to someone who knows about what's going on, do your research, and be able to talk to a professional that has some kind of credentials and background to know what you're going through. So if you do decide to take your own journey into, the medicineless hospital or whatever you do with your vegetables and so much more, at least you have a blueprint onto what's going on to kind of help your journey get there. I know a lot of people, one of the gentlemen we had spoke to, he had came over, I think it was stage 5 cancer, lung cancer or something, and he was 81, and he had did that with high intravenous doses of vitamin C. So I don't know too much about that. I heard a lot of people are going on that journey, but being able to get different stuff to kind of clear your system out, that sounds wonderful in itself.
Sure.
Yeah, so is there anything that you want as far as the delve of it, the nut of the whole seasonal thing? What is it that you feel that people would best get from the books that you have out there on Amazon and Smashwords and so much more?
I would say, again, take every day as a gift, because life is very short. Take every day as a gift and strike the words like quit and can't and don't from your vocabulary, and enjoy every single day.
Yeah, for all it's worth. For every single thing that it's worth. And this right here is. I mean, because a lot of people will and I mean, I understand because stress levels affect people differently, but a lot of people will, have the wrong thing at the grocery store and they will completely collapse. So I think when they hear different stories, they're like, oh my goodness, what Mr. Guernsey's going through, I don't know if I could handle that. But as I said, the Creator will not give us more than we can handle, and anything that the Creator is not willing to handle it through it with us. I mean, we're never going to be alone on that. And the accountability of that is the biggest and the deepest part that we have out there. And just that whole feeling itself. So how is your wife doing though?
She's doing great.
Yeah.
She's out in the garden working on, a sunny day here, so she's doing some gardening. Getting her garden ready for the spring.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Wow.
She's doing great. She was my rock during this whole, she was my caregiver and my rock. And I just know I couldn't have made it through this whole thing, the cancer thing, without her, her love and support and being my caregiver and doing things. And again, we're on a clean radio show, so I don't want to mention some of the things that she had to do. But she had to do things that were not in the caregiver's manual. That's for sure.
Yeah, she had to roll up her sleeves and become that extra superwoman.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And again, I want to get back to, people are listening, and they need to hear how I've done it. Because as I say, if I can do it, they can do it. Please email me anytime, and I'll always respond within 48 hours.
Oh, good. Yeah, definitely. You know what? You're better at that than I am. I mean, I would say Angela does her emailing just fine. I mean, she handles a lot to do with RDC, but I have 7 other email accounts, and I try my best. I really do. But at the same time, it's like from different things going on with the nonprofit, and everyone has the music, different ones. So I'm like, okay, but at the same time, it does get caught up eventually. So yes, everyone, I want to say thank you to you, Keith Guernsey, for being on here. Again, everyone, you can also check out. You can just put in there the search bar and different ones. He will pop up. That's Keith Guernsey, and you can look on Smashwords, which is basically Nook, Barnes & Nobles, Kobo, Amazon Kindle, and so much more. Again, at realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com, we will have all his information up there and how to get in contact with him, as well as the numbers he said and the email, which is awesome. So you can get to know more about that and be able to check out the books and the series that he has, so you can get on there and start creating your journey. And if you have any direct questions for Keith, you can also get a hold of Keith Guernsey at the information provided, and contact us as well at realdoubledosechannel@yandex.com if you feel you didn't know how to navigate the blog spot. So I just want to say again, thank you, Keith, for being on here, and also to RDC families and all you who are tuning in, downloading, and so much more. We appreciate your support. Again, go to all those links at realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com. Remember to be the change, feel the passion, embrace the power of the spirit, and keep yourself highly motivated, because the war and the journey is never over until it's over. We love you, we appreciate you, and we'll be back with you very, very, very soon.